Hey, what's up? It's your girl Gabrielle with Get Your Mind Right. Whoop, whoop. And today we have, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Euda K. Best, and I used to be Gabby's teacher.
Yes, I know at a small school in THGA.
Yes,
oh my gosh. Shout out to THGA for real.
Everywhere we go. You remember that song we used to do?
Now I remember that song. Oh, wow. Tapped to a core memory right there.
Oh, shoot. Anyway, yes, my name is Euda K. Best, and I've done everything. I used to be an engineer. I used to teach K through 8 until I realized that the school-to-prison pipeline is a real thing. And so now I'm like down with public schools, and I want to start a sliding scale private school. In the meantime, I'm a card reader. I read regular playing cards, which is the intersection of astrology and divination.
Yes.
And I think it's really helpful for helping people.
We love that here.
Yes.
It's the energy we need.
Yes. I think the system is really good for helping people to find a roadmap when they're lost. So feel free to reach out to Gabby or whatever if you are interested in
shout
a reading.
Shout out your credentials, like your Facebook, your Instagram. Where can they find you?
Oh, yeah. I guess you don't have to shout out Gabby. Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Hella Random Radio. That's HELLA Random Radio. I also have a show on Farside TV. I teach yoga. I'm becoming pretty well known here in Denver for my guided meditation sessions. Oh, I love to hold space for art therapy.
Just a jack of all trades. Just a jack of all trades. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but that's what we like here: bringing community, talking about what they do, and also talking about the community and stuff like that. So today we are going to be talking about mental health. And question 1. Are you ready for question 1?
I'm ready for question 1.
Do you have your answers ready?
You didn't give me the questions.
Well, I know, because I have to spring it on you so I can get your actual opinion.
Yeah, I don't like to think about it.
Right? So. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about it, then like you're overestimating your question. You know what I mean? You got to get real here.
Okay, let's be real.
Do you think mental health is talked about enough in the Black community?
No.
Why is that is true, but why do you think that is? Like, what is your take on that? Why do you think we don't talk about it enough?
Man, I think because people are afraid of going there. People are really afraid of looking at themselves, being told, you know, the things that they're doing wrong. I don't know. A lot of people just would rather stay in a comfortable rut than to actually dive into their emotions. And actually, when I say the word emotions, that's probably the biggest reason, is because we live in a society that has taught us to be afraid of our emotions. You know, women who are emotional are crazy.
Yeah.
Men who are emotional are weak. Like, we live in a system that almost is set up to make it impossible for us to really have loving and harmonious relationships, because we've been taught to deny our emotions. And mental health is about looking at all of those emotions, owning those emotions, honoring them, making space for them, and people are afraid of that.
Right. Well, I do look up stuff too, you know, just to answer these questions and see what like the internet has to say, and just like, you know, just doing my research and stuff. And it's like approximately 1 in 5 adults, 43.8 million Americans experience some form of mental illness in a given year.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
It's too many people.
And I think that that's probably a small number.
You think so?
Yes, because there's a lot of things that we don't, that speak to mental illness that we don't count. You know, like having a messy house or a lot of clutter. You know,
that is a form of mental illness.
Not eating right. Like all of these things are speaking to a mental illness, but you know, since it's hard enough, you know, dealing with the big issues, no one really wants to deal with those super small issues, you know?
Yeah. And it's just like, here's like a couple tips or just like things that you can do. I know like everybody has a different set system, you know, everybody's going through a different kind of thing, but just here are some tips that you can do to like not just better yourself in your environment. So write a letter if you are afraid to talk face to face. What I like to do is I like to journal personally, and Miss Euda was actually the one who put me on journaling, and oh my gosh, has it helped with so much over the past few years. I'm literally almost done with my journal, and I'm just like looking back on my old self through the years, and I'm just like, wow, I've changed a lot. So just like, if you can't talk to anybody, write it down. she does magic over here, okay? Talk to somebody you don't know, like a therapist or psychologist, because sometimes friends and family can just have like a sort of bias, or just like, oh, it's just, you know, nothing, or just like sometimes not supportive when it comes to your feelings. So it's just like, talk to somebody else who's willing to listen. I know you have to pay for them, but
can I jump in on that point? And I would say, especially in your romantic relationships, if there is a problem in your romantic relationship, I feel like your mom and your homegirls or your homeboys,
talking to other people is not,
are the last people to know, because chances are you're gonna forgive that person, and all the people that you told are not.
Yeah.
And so that ends up bringing a divide in the family.
Starts creating a tension that doesn't need to be needed.
Yeah. So I think in romantic relationships, especially, it is really important to either just journal about it. I really believe that journaling is almost better than therapy.
It helps.
It's like a therapy session with spirit. But especially in romantic relationships, I think it's very important to have someone not too close to you to talk to when there are problems.
Right. And it's just like kind of going on that journaling note, you know, you can start journaling and then eventually go into talking to people about how you feel, you know, just baby steps. Nobody's telling you have to get over your feelings in a day, you know what I mean? It could take a whole year, it could take a week, a couple months, you know, feel how you feel, because if you don't, then all those emotions are going to blow up and then it's just going to become a whole thing. Practice speaking in the mirror before you talk to someone if you are struggling to do so. You will probably feel a great sense of relief when you just get everything off of your chest and talk to somebody. You know what I mean? You know when you just get that big, like just all the weight just has been lifted off of your shoulders, just having that one conversation with somebody. So just be willing to talk and remember that you are not alone.
Yes, and since you took a deep breath when you were talking about it, like I have a bajillion tools in my tool belt. But if I could only choose one, I would say breath work and breathing. Like if you can learn how to breathe, you can literally learn how to heal yourself. And you can certainly learn how to keep your heart rate normal, how to keep yourself from flashing and getting in trouble. Like I feel like there are so many crimes. In my opinion, I feel like 80% of violent crime is the result of just losing control in an instant.
Right.
You know, and if you feel like you're losing control and you start to breathe deeply, you know, instead of losing control, like lives can be saved, you know, with a few deep breaths.
Because you never really know what people are going through. And that's why I like to pick my battles. I tell everybody to pick their battles because a whole bunch of stuff could be going through their head. And then next thing you know, it's all out brawl. So it's just like know when to just, you know what I mean? Just like if you're just putting fuel to the flame, it's just going to be bad for everybody involved.
Right. And this year is a 6 of Hearts year, which is the Peacemaker's card. But interestingly enough, the Peacemaker is ruled by Mars. And Mars is the planet of competition,
passion, anger,
and aggression.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm an Aries. I'm ruled by Mars. So I'm all like,
Yes. Your mom told me that you were growling at her when you were a baby.
When I was a
But I mean, these energies are energies. I've seen a lot of people who wouldn't normally lose it this year, you know, and so this is really a good time to add some self-care to your itinerary to keep things as even.
I haven't been arguing with anybody, actually, this whole year. Like, that's like something about, like, I'm at a place where I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear you. You know what? I'm not going to put my energy out there into it. I literally just, like, I take deep breaths. And then I'm just like, okay. Like, I just take, like, a big old sigh. And I'm just like, all right, well, this has nothing to do with me. I haven't argued with anybody.
That's super dope. I think it might also be because we're Aries. We're also kind of accustomed to the energy of Mars when other people might not be.
Right. So we just know how to control it. So.
Yeah.
All right. So on to question 2. Is social media putting an impact on mental health?
Absolutely. I think we have the highest suicide rate now than ever.
Really?
Yes. And in my opinion, a whole bunch of it is social media related because, you know, people are out here lying, you know, and then we compare ourselves to the lie, you know, and it's ridiculous. Like,
it's like you can't, you know what I mean? You can't. Because in the normal world, nobody looks like that. Nobody's doing those things, you know, every single day. It's just like only those moments that they capture in that time frame. It's just like sometimes it is planned photo shoots. And it's not, she was never in Cabo and she's on a flight back in a week, you know what I mean? Like, it's all fake.
Yeah.
So that can really, really mess with your mind if you're living in the real world and these expectations aren't met.
Right. There's a quote that says that comparison is the thief of joy.
Ooh,
and I think that is real.
That
like we're evolving as a people. Humanity is evolving. And to me, the big outcomes of that evolution are freedom, you know, and authenticity.
Yeah.
And you can't be authentic if you're out here comparing yourself to other people. Like, I understand the tendency, the system is actually set up to make us, you know, compare ourselves to others.
And make us sad and make us want to do this. Right, and it's just crazy that you pointed out, like, the suicide rates and stuff like that, because, you know, I do my own research when I look up these questions. And it's just like using it activates the reward center by releasing dopamine, a feel-good chemical. I feel like a lot of people are starting to realize this and know this, that like every single time you hear the ding, your brain, you automatically run to the phone because it's the notification. You're like, I need my phone. Link to the pleasure, what is it? To the pleasure mode? It's not the pleasure.
The pleasure center, I would call it.
Yeah, the pleasure center. So basically where you get all your happy feels and stuff, when you hear that notification, when you're on your phone, when you're scrolling, when you're taking likes and taking selfies and liking people's pictures, like it's just all that rush of just instant gratification. It's just like really bad on the brain.
Yes, and it can, and as good as it might feel to get those likes and stuff, it is none of it will ever compare to getting a hug.
Yeah.
Or exchanging real energy with someone. Like, and that's part of the problem is a lot of people are so addicted to this that their in real life relationships are suffering,
right? And
there's no replacing it. You know,
literally, it says according to the Pew Research Center, 69% of adults and 81% of teens in the U.S. use social media. This puts a large amount of the population at an increased risk of feeling anxious, depressed, or ill over their social media use. That's a lot of people, and you can just like. Even like the teens now, you know, with like TikTok and everything, just like honestly, I had like a weird thing of like downloading it and then like downloading it back because it's just like I get overstimulated when I just hear all the noises and the different music and then somebody's dancing and then there's a cat and then there's just like it's a lot.
Right.
I like just had to like delete it. Like I only follow for like luxury home aesthetics. Like I like to manifest, you know, like an apartment, like a high-rise apartment, you know, manifest. Like stuff like that, or like little Amazon gadgets and like tarot readers. Like I use it for that, or like the black dancers on there. But just like other than that, like I'm rarely on TikTok. Like it's too much on my head personally.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the fact of the matter is that the body needs movement, but the mind needs stillness. And we think when we're looking at our phone that we're seeing a solid picture, but it's actually a flashing light. It's flashing like 4,000 times per minute. And that in and of itself is addicting. So you get addicted to this thing that is essentially messing you up.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
It's just a whole weird loop and cycle and connection. But let's read some of the comments. Monique, she did like a flower. She did like fire emojis and like roses. And she said yes. And then she said Aries. I guess she's an Aries. Aries gang.
In the house.
A. We're the best sign. That's like every sign says that though. So, whatever.
We're the first.
Right? We're the first though. So like, anyways. So, why aren't mothers allowed to complain or talk about postpartum? Like, I feel like it's like starting to get talked about more now that people are starting to like recognize it and recognize the signs. You know, like our younger generation is starting to learn more about it and stuff. But just like, why aren't like moms allowed to like complain? Because like being with a baby 24/7 is like a job in itself. Like there was like a joke on The Office, and he was like, the second hardest job is being a receptionist or something, and he said the first is being a mother, or like the easiest job or whatever it was. I know he said the first. I know, I was like, no, it's not.
That's crazy.
I know, yeah. It was just obviously it was a statutory like joke, but just like still like it's not an easy job at all. Like anybody who has to be prepared.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? I mean, I'm not a mom myself, like, you know, but I am a depiction of a single mother, so I know what it looks like when a mom is, so.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that whole, like, our patriarchal system is all about emotions being buried or emotions being ignored, you know, and so that is definitely a huge one, but there is so much related to that, you know, bodies change. There's so much hormones that come into the body when another life form comes into you. Is like literally being invaded by an alien system. It's like all these different hormones come into your body.
Right.
And so it's natural for a person to be even more emotional.
After it's like releasing that, you know what I mean? Like a detox, like a sauna
kind
of thing.
Right. But men don't want to hear that. And most women are suffering from enough internalized patriarchy
in silence
to also feel that their emotions are crazy. I think women almost think that they're crazier than the men say they are.
Yeah.
You know, so it's this system is jacked.
And I just want to like pinpoint some signs. If like you are going through this, definitely seek help. Definitely, you know, look for numbers, outlets, get some outside time, talk to people. You know what I mean? Because like it happens to a lot of people and they don't talk about it, but it's just not talked about enough. So here are just some signs and some symptoms. Excessive crying, mood swings, withdrawing from friends and family, difficulty bonding with your baby, fatigue, low energy, irritability and anger, feeling like you're not a good mother, anxiety or panic attacks, thoughts of death or suicide, loss of appetite of eating much more than usual, feeling of hopelessness, worthlessness, guilt, or shame, and then loss of interest in activities that once brought you joy. And just like basically what you can do to like just like how can you find like help throughout like your community and stuff, and just like where you can turn to, people you can talk to. Spend quality time, you know what I mean? Like this is just for the people out there who do have friends who are going through this, or they see these signs in somebody who just had a new baby, you know what I mean? Like definitely be an outlet for them and definitely help them through this transition, because having a baby is probably the biggest decision anybody could make. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's a decision that's going to stick with you until you're 18, okay?
For their whole life.
Whole life.
But I mean,
life.
at least 18.
Yeah.
At least.
So basically, spend quality time with her. You know, she's been with the baby nonstop. Give her a break. You know what I mean? Just be like, hey, you know, let me watch the baby for like an hour, 2 hours. You can just get a quick nap in. You know what I mean? Ask her specific questions. You know, what do you need help with? What do you need me to do around the house? What can I buy at the grocery store for you? You know, just be that extra support. Spend time with her other children if she does have some, you know what I mean? If she already has 2 kids, take those kiddos to the park or whatever, you know, bring some snacks, let her have some time with the baby, and just like get the baby settled down so that maybe she can have a nap. You know what I mean? Just like be helpful.
Yeah.
And then offer to give her some alone time, you know what I mean? Offer to babysit and just like go out to breakfast or dinner or the movies, just whatever. Make these suggestions and make it known that you're there and you're there to help.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and I gotta touch on that idea of sleep, you know, because I have had my own experience with, like, I never actually contemplated committing suicide, but I had an experience where my energy was so low that I understood where people are when they make that decision.
Right.
And it's rest. Rest is another thing that is huge. Outside of maybe breath work,
right.
Getting enough sleep is probably the second thing.
Get some information in some outlets and some what is it? Not lookout, but just our last episode we actually did talk about like a proper sleep routine, getting stuff in. You know, like turning down the lights. If you have a humidifier, put some, you know, essential oils in there, or incense or candles. You know what I mean? We already talked about that last episode. If you actually want to check it out,
okay.
It's Get Your Mind Right with Kojo, Kojo.
Nice. Yes. So sleep is very, very huge, and then this is a complete change, but you were saying something about talking about it and not doing these things alone. And the thing that came up for me is tell the truth, shame the devil. You know, because it's I know how hard it is, because we're so used, and the social media definitely shows us that we want to put the shiny stuff out there.
Right, and not talk about the nitty-gritty stuff.
But the truth is what really will help you. Authenticity, again, is the point. So if you're having a hard time, let people know, you know, put it out there. Don't suffer in silence, you know. Yeah.
Right. And there's like some statistics when it comes to like women who do deal with postpartum, like ethnically and racially and stuff like that. And so the total altogether of new mothers who experience postpartum is 11.8%.
Wow. And I bet that's low.
Right, but listen to this. This what really threw me, honestly. But at the same time, like I can understand it. But just like listen to these statistics. So, white is 11.7, black is 13.4, Hispanic is 11.5, Native American / Native Alaskan is 16.6, Asian is 7.4. And Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders 11.4, and then multiple races is 14.8.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. I never would have even thought to break it down by that. But
Right.
It's interesting. And I know for a fact that it's low because there are way more people suffering in silence than we can imagine.
Right. Just like, stuff is crazy. It's just like, I don't know. I definitely saw like a remedy that like some people do, like a bath remedy that you can do, like after you have a baby, like you can put a whole bunch of herbs and like whole bunch of stuff in there and just like sit her in there for a little bit. It's like supposed to like replenish you, because after you just released all of that, you know what I mean, you're not gonna feel tip-top shape. You know, everything's gonna be out of whack, unbalanced. You're gonna feel some type of way. It's a lot. So definitely seek out the help if you are going through that. So.
And emotions are represented by the water element. So baths are definitely fantastic medicine, even without all the stuff. But yes, throw you some herbs, light a candle, like really make a ritual out of it.
Epsom
and it could
salts.
be so
I love
helpful.
Putting Epsom salts in my bed.
Salt is huge. That's
so
rocks.
Good, yeah.
So you got some water and you got some earth. You know, now then you add the fire, get you some incense, and you got all 4 elements in there supporting you and letting go of things that maybe you don't write about or talk about.
Right. Exactly. So, guys, that was 3 questions of the day, and we are going to be getting ready for the Kahoot. No, we're not done yet. Okay. We're going to play a game, and of course, you guys can always comment in the comment section and play with us and answer questions and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, we'll catch you guys in a minute. Peace out. So we're on break.
Okay.
We are back. So everybody get ready in the comment section for the game. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, great. So it's going to be 10 questions. It's not super long. It's nothing super crazy. I'm basically just going to shout out the answers and you're just going to guess.
Okay.
And obviously say the questions so you guys can guess.
I'm excited.
So today we're doing anatomy. So it's, do you know your body? Question 1. How many neurons can connect/communicate with each other? 1,800,000, 100,000, or 150,000? She got it right. The answer is 100,000. Isn't that crazy? They just like little sparks flying everywhere, poo, 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 communicating with each other so I can do exactly what I just did on camera. All right, question 2. She has 828 points.
Nice.
True or false? Skin protects the body from infection and injury. True or false?
888, that's abundance.
The answer is true, because if you had all your organs and muscles and stuff out, we would not survive one day. Because there's even bacteria in the air. It's just like, yeah, you are.
Sorry.
Okay, you have 1,716 points. And then, is there a way that actually you can pull up your YouTube real quick? What is the smallest unit of life? Electrons, mosquitoes, cells, or neurons? Let's read the comment section. Oh no, wait, just wait, let's read the comment section. So Build and Grow says 800,000. It was 100,000, but good guess. And then Johnny Doe says true. Yes, the body does protect. It does get protected by the skin. And then this third question, what is the small unit of life? It is cells. And Monique, you are right. All right.
But there's electrons in cells.
Mr. DG says neurons. Nope, it's cells.
I think this is wrong.
No, it's cells. Number 4. Red blood cells are responsible for getting blood to your heart, carrying oxygen, fighting infection and disease, or detoxing the body. Let's see. So the answer is carrying oxygen to the body. So that's what your red blood cells are for. Your white blood cells are for fighting infection and diseases.
Nice.
Let's see where you're at. So you have 2,536 points.
Yep.
Monique says weak face emoji.
Sorry, Monique.
Right. Number 5, skin doesn't help regulate body temperature. True or false?
I have 3,330. That's magic.
She's getting all the questions right. All right. Monique says detox. Wrong. It's carrying oxygen to the body. And then Mr. DG. Mr. DG says carrying oxygen to the body. You are correct. And then Build and Grow says false. Monique says false. And you guys are all correct. Yes, skin does help regulate body temperature. You know, keeps us warm, cold, all that stuff. Keeps our insides warm, going. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, on the inside and the outside. Oh, you got 333.
Yeah.
Number 6. How many times do you blink in a minute? 35 times, 20 times, 15 times, or 10 times? All right, the answer is 20 times. You blink 20 times in a minute, which makes sense because it's basically like keeping your eyes away from like all the bacteria. Because if you just keep your eyes all open, then it's just.
Unless I'm taking pictures, then I blink.
Yeah, no. So I mean, if you're taking pictures, that's different. But in the real world, if you're just walking around, you blink 20 times in a minute. Monique says 35. It's 20. All right. Number 7. How many centimeters are you in the morning? 1 centimeter, 5 centimeters, 3 centimeters, or 7 centimeters?
I don't understand that question.
It's okay. I'll explain it. The answer is 1 centimeter. So basically, when you go to sleep, you grow 1 centimeter overnight. But then over time, when you're going throughout the day and walking and putting on shoes, and, you know, you're basically just crushing those bones back to the regular size you were before.
Deep.
Isn't that cool?
I'm happy I learned something today.
Right? That's what I'm saying. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. You grow 1 centimeter overnight, and then over time throughout the day, 24 hours, you get shorter again.
Gravity.
Mm-hmm. Monique says 5. Oh, just one little inch. None too bad. Half an inch. Earwax is a type of sweat. True or false? We need some music.
I like
All right.
the song that they play at the registers at King Supers.
I don't know
what
what
I
songs
love
do they play.
It's just this beat, but
Oh,
it's
the
like
beat
perfect.
that it does.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's dope.
I see. So the answer
I'm gonna sample
is
Sorry.
for a new song, King Super's Cashier Beat. So the answer is true. And honestly, I did not know that until it was up.
I just guessed.
Isn't that gross? It's a type of sweat. Your ears are sweating, but it's earwax. That's so nasty. Monique says really cool. Building gross is true. Monique says true. Yes, you guys were all correct. I just think that's really disgusting. Like, I mean, like, it's earwax, but it's just sweat, though.
It's just life.
I was really disturbed by that. I was like, that's gross. Okay, so you got 4,258 points.
Nice.
Question 9. Every minute you shed how many dead skin cells? 55,000, 70,000, 30,000, or 100,000?
Dang.
Mr. DG says throwing up emoji, laughing face, and when he says laughing face. Okay. It is 30,000 dead skin cells you shed every minute. It's like when you see, like, when people are allergic to dust, you're basically allergic to dead skin cells.
Now that's nasty.
Yeah.
At least people are not randomly swallowing my earwax. But my dead cells, yep, you got some.
That's what basically like dust is. It's like fur and like fabric from your clothes and like your hair and dead skin cells. So people are allergic to dust. You're allergic to dead skin cells. Isn't that gross? All right, Mr. DG says 70K. Monique says 55. Fortunately, no, guys. It was 30,000. And we are on the last question
Let's go.
of the day, right?
Let's go.
Drum roll. Blah, 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 blah. True or false? Men have about 50% more muscle mass than women.
I want to talk to the creators of this game.
So the answer is true, which is why people are like, men are physically stronger. That is a fact. Yes, they have 50% more muscle mass on top of ours.
Yeah. We're fiercer.
We are. We bring more attitude and we bring all that 50% muscle mass with our energy. So that was the last question of the day.
First place.
She got first place. I don't know what places y'all were in because you guys weren't playing the game. But it's okay because it's like if I do Kahoot, then they would have to download the app. That's why I just say the questions and they can just answer in the comment section.
Got you.
Saving space on
so I was
your
playing
phone.
against myself.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well. I won.
It was just to see if you know. It's like a little quiz for you.
I did pretty good. Does it show how many I missed?
Yes, you got 5 out of 10.
I missed half?
Everybody does that.
At least it's 444.
Oh wow. A couple of people are like oh yeah, I get like they get like 3 like 7 out of 10, but like people usually get like 50%.
That's horrible. I would
Do
like
you
to get
know
8.
your body? It's okay, guys. That's what we're doing this for. But that is the end of the show. Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
All right, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share. And don't forget to hit up Miss Euda for all her lovely information and what she does. Definitely shout out your credentials one more time for the people in the back.
Euda K Best. Holler at me on Instagram at Hella Random Radio. That's HELLA. RANDOM RADIO. I got you on your yoga, your meditation, your readings, your art therapy, all the things.
All that jazz. All right, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday at 4. Peace. And don't forget to get your mind right.